into the box. JT Realmuto was given a free pass via the intentional walk last time. First offering. Breaking ball below the zone. That's ball one. Action in the bullpen as their closer starts to get loose out there.
In the center. No, he got
He tracks it down. A nice
thought it was
running
gonna
play
fall.
to record the second
They're
out.
playing him in a bit and this. Fucking hate it. Fuck. You get on my nerve. Peterson? 285, 50, 65. That's it. Droptober for the walk-off. Simple quick.
Here's the first offering.
One. Lost win, I said from the start. So that's 5-2, you know, it's 5-5, so. Oh.
Swing and a liner, but a foul ball, and it's 2-1 now. That's a
ball, please. Yeah, always lost.
hard to do much with that because it hit a really nice arm.
2-1 pitch. 3-1. They don't want to see LBs. I think I get a pitch to drive right here, and if they time it, I win. That's me being dumb. No.
Guess where he's going with this next pitch? Probably a little further outside. See if the fish are still biting.
Hurt.
Braves are set down.
Hurt. What are you gonna do about it? Fucking say it hurts. Fucking hurts. I don't care.
Roberto Osuna comes on now, and he's just hoping to keep this thing tied. No save opportunity here. Mookie Betts seems to start things off as he hits the ball.
Come on up, you fucking motherfucker. Like, don't fuck with the game right now. I'm serious. Strong. Bad. What's wrong with this picture? What am I doing wrong? I don't know. Trouble. Acuna's not gonna get it. That's second with a double. Holy fuck, Asuna, what are you doing to me? You're not right. You're not right. No, you're not right.
You have to like hits like this. No doubt double the second it left his bat. Like you said, the only question
No. Albie spears it. 1 out. Whoa, man. And Albie's just there. He's a fucking... He's just so fast.
Big spot here, and it'll be Bruce Smith. And a chance they walk him here to set up a double play to keep the game tied.
Fuck that
Here's the first pitch. And that's in there for the strike. Hey, this offense has this closer in trouble. I don't know. Everybody else has to get on this guy and make him that one, but he stays alive.
You fucker. You fucking cocksucker. He's taking that. Fucking done. He's not. deal with either. They just fucking.
At the plate now, Corey Seager. He'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. 2 hits in 4 attempts to this point. He'll be fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
In my opinion, there is no one in this bullpen that and we got him. Wow. Lead off double by Betts. They survived because Osuna. Unbelievable. Sad offense. Fuck you, game. Not going down 3 games to 1. I can't. Don't you get it? It's Ozzy. It's Ozzy. Come on.
Now here's the first offering. And it's called away. Pitching third as it lays off. It's 1-1.
Hanger! Right center, it's not deep enough. I thought he might have got it, but then I realized it didn't. It wasn't on a line of it.
Lifetime versus Joe Kelly. He's hitless in 3 at-bats. Now set, here's the 0-0 pitch.
It's going upstairs there. There's a billion times. It was a mistake. And he's the one to third.
Freddie Freeman there. They're hit next.
Last thing ever that was dumb. I'm gonna lose this game the way this is going. Fucking Albies, I thought Albies balls and it be better than this, but no, it was perfect pick. Freeman is elite. Fucking ball with me going nuts. It's fucking nuts. Every fucking time.
Ready with the 0-1.
That's a base hit. that's all I have for it.
Game slumps where mechanically he's off. He just sort of loses his mojo. This was a prime example of him losing it in a game. He went from brilliant 18 for 21 in the first half to off in the second half to incredibly tight in overtime. He really regressed. And for all the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, he was outdueled by Burrow. He got tight, Burrow got right, and there's your ball game. And that's really something we've talked about over and over with Mahomes. One of the reasons he didn't go number 1, 2, 3, or 4, and the Chiefs moved up to get him was his mechanical issues, his footwork. He can be very much an ad-libber, and you got to get him right. You got to coach him up. And we've seen multiple times in his career. This year he had about a 7-game stretch where they were really struggling at home to beat teams like the New York Giants. But I thought in the second half, he had open throws. He gets reluctant. It gets in his head. And then in overtime, he almost threw a pick 6. So, when Patrick Mahomes came out and won his first Super Bowl, I cautioned everybody. I said, you understand, eventually you're going to have to pay him. Eventually you're going to have to pay him. You're going to lose coordinators. It looks like the AFC has these emerging young star quarterbacks. And now you see it. Burrow outdueled Joe Cool, who I think, what is the stat? He is 8-0 in the 8 biggest games of his career, Joe Burrow. I did think there was something interesting. I'm not sure how many of you noticed it. When Mixon had that big run that set up the field goal, and he fell to the ground, he was never touched. And he got up and put the ball on the ground. That's supposed to be a fumble. He was never touched. Is that me? Or did nobody else see that? Be that as it may, refs didn't catch it, and the Bengals win. I thought once again, Mahomes, Kansas City, when they are rolling, they have the best knockout punch. They're the best home run hitters in the NFL, along with the Buffalo Bills. But both Buffalo and Kansas City this year showed a propensity to get off their game and have these jagged little spikes throughout the course of the season. And we saw early in the year, Mahomes struggled, their running game disappeared, and after that first half, I thought Cincinnati was baked.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, if this is not an advertisement for get the quarterback right, I don't know what is. What was Zach Taylor's record? 625-1 for Burrow. It's the worst offensive line in the playoffs. It's probably the worst overall roster, in my opinion, in last week's divisional round. Just get the quarterback right. That's why Josh McDaniels leaves New England and takes the Raiders' job. He's got Derek Carr. Derek Carr, some weapons, decent protection, won a lot of games in this league. And as Brian Daboll took the New York Giants job this week, my thought was, well, if the Mara family makes him retain Daniel Jones, in 2 or 3 years, Brian Daboll's in trouble. So Burrow's just a special player. He didn't have the biggest arm. He's not the most athletic scrambler of the football, but there's something to be said about situational excellence. He plays with a ton of confidence. Listen, we better stop doubting the Bengals. I thought Kansas City was a better team. I thought Buffalo was a better team. I think the Rams have a better roster. I think San Francisco's got a better overall roster. But the rules are all in place. Now, I do worry about the Bengals losing their tight end for the Super Bowl. Their starting tight end. That is a concern. But I think this one's on Mahomes. I think he was clearly and visibly off, reluctant, and tight in the second half and overtime. So this is part of his legacy now too. Every quarterback over the course of time, Brady had bad Sundays, Brady had bad playoff games. This was a really rough look for Mahomes. Can't put it on Andy Reid. It was a really rough look for Patrick Mahomes to be in the second half and in overtime. You could just tell. You've watched him in football. I've watched him in football. In that red zone situation, he just would not pull the trigger. 3 different plays. He just ran around. He was totally reluctant to spin it and let it go. So congrats to the Bengals. I'm off to watch the Rams and Niners at SoFi. Hi, everybody, and welcome. It's Saturday morning, a little emergency podcast as Tom Brady, after 22 seasons, is retiring, first broken by Adam Schefter and Jeff Darlington. I had said on more than one occasion this week, it was the first time I believe Tom had a greater than 50% chance to retire. He seemed almost satisfied with the way the season ended. 2 things that really jumped out to me: how unprepared the Buccaneers looked in their loss to the Rams. Completely unprepared in the first half. It was a meltdown. And the second thing that jumps out to me, the Patriots often lost playoff games. Belichick was never unprepared. This has been the knock on Bruce Arians. He runs a very low ship. It's not tight. It's outspoken. It's edgy. It's big play. Tom is Mr. Efficiency. So you can lose, but Tom's team looked absolutely outclassed, outsmarted, and outmaneuvered. That's something I noticed. Previously to that, I had said multiple times that Tom kept giving us little hints when he was leaving New England, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so the Cincinnati Bengals are Super Bowl bound. It's interesting, the knock on Mahomes when he came out of college, and we've seen this for 2 extended periods for Patrick Mahomes in the NFL, where he's got to be 6 to 7 game slots where mechanically he's off. He just sort of loses his mojo. This was a prime example of him losing it in a game. He went from brilliant 18 for 21 in the first half to off in the second half to incredibly tight in overtime. He really regressed. And for all the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, he was outdueled by Burrow.
Alright, help some play.
It does. Listen, me, Scott, or is this game getting harder? Oh, I get it. Scott, where are you? Scott, I'm coming.
Imagine if we had seatbelts that were arms. Why do I feel something on my butt?
What?
Why do I feel something
Stop, you're
hard
joking.
on my butt?
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
Good. We get up.
Are you gonna stand up then? You actually have a job? Stop it. Are you joking? Move your arms.
Zoom in that camera ASAP. I know. You're joking. Stop. Okay, so today we decided to pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend again, but this time a bit different.
are online for the users.
You know, you're really holding back.
Users, what are
Guys,
I have to keep thanking God because without God,
Go back in your career. Take people listening. How long? I mean,
I really felt like, man, we're gonna lose another tough freaking game, and I actually went to the clubhouse just to walk around a little bit before that first batter came.
And
Shawty got a big old baby. Squirt. Oh, thank you.
And why aren't you in uniform? And
Hey, honey, toilet paper there. Toilet paper here. Hey, honey, sharpen your
This is where we're getting canceled here.
Hey, it's not even there.
Do you think he was dealing with all of the pain and injury? Well, he was definitely not going to physical therapy or.
and it became us versus them, as opposed to good ideologies versus bad ideologies. It's a big difference.
While BLM saw some of us bursting with black pride, others were more focused on BLM pushing a supposed anti-white narrative.
This subject obviously divides opinion, and someone who's been making headlines with his views on BLM is Hollywood actor, hey, white chocolate, host of America's Got Talent. What is the better situation for Rodgers? Is it Denver or is it Green Bay?
Oh, it's Green Bay by a mile. It's not even close. I think with this whole situation, Molly, the first thing that people need to understand, and I texted Shefty about this like 15 minutes ago.
he ain't going back to Green Bay. I'm sorry, he's not. There's no fucking way he's going back to Green Bay. It's just not. He's upset right now. I can't see him going back to Green Bay. I can see him going to fucking Tampa if Brady retires though. This is easy to do. Playoffs every year. Just win Super Bowl every year. That's why Brady went there too. I mean, fucking Hawks, Falcons, fucking the Panthers, the fucking Saints, and Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Wow. Something wrong with Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Nothing. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Rams overcoming the largest fourth quarter deficit in conference championship history with 10 points. They will play in Super Bowl 56 in their home stadium after that 2017 victory.
Long time coming, you know. Spent a lot of years in this league, and I've loved every minute of it. I feel blessed to be able to play in this league for as long as I have. But I sure am happy for this opportunity for not only myself, but really so many guys in that locker room that deserve this too.
That's kind of our year in a nutshell. We were 3-5 at one point. People wrote us off. We just kept fighting. That's what good teams do. That's what tight brothers do. And
you didn't do shit.
I got no regrets from this
Jimmy, and then you threw a pick. Yeah. Can't throw picks.
And so here is your Super Bowl tale of the tape. For the second year in a row, one team will play for the title in their home stadium, and we all know how that turned out for the Bucs last year in Tampa. And to add to the intrigue, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor served on the Rams coaching staff back in 2017, 2018. And Eric, that is no lie.
It is true, and I hope the Super Bowl is not a dud because the last 6 games have been nail-biters, absolutely amazing. With that, we're going to take a break, but still to come, Jeremy Colleton taking over the head coaching duties for Team Canada ahead of the Olympic Games. We'll tell you why he's replacing Claude Julien.
Plus, we're going to head to the ice where the Canadians were looking to snap their 5-game losing skid against the Blue Jackets. NHL highlights coming your way next.
Should be I'm pretty fine. Sure, I mean, so they do. It's like complicated. Last year. Cincinnati Bengal fans in LA. I don't think there's any. Like, yeah, there's 49er fans. Yeah, there's Raider fans. There's Charger fans even, but there's not fucking Penguins.
Now entering the ring at your nearest Mary Brown's are new plant-based tenders. Meet the Tender Contender. Great taste, plant-based. Mary Brown's chicken. Crave delicious, crave Canadian.
How can you make Mary Brown's snack menu even better? Combo it. Choose any 2 snacks, including our new plant-based sidekick sandwiches. Small taters and a can of pop for $9.99. Mary Brown's chicken. Crave delicious, crave Canadian.
Moving British Columbians forward. Join today for less than $7 per month.
Now this is an empty nest.
More relaxing, more modern, less what it used to be. Because everything changed at Home Hardware's Kitchen and Bath Sale, where you'll save up to 20% on Benchmark 20-volt max cordless yard and power tools, and save 25% on Beauty Tone Kitchen and Bath Paint. Plus, save 20% on Delta faucets. Available now at Home Hardware and Building Centers. Here's how.
The incredible scenes from inside Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton on Sunday following the second goal in Team Canada's 2-0 victory over the United States. And shout out to Thomas Davey for the footage. By the way, clearly a new era for Canadian men's soccer. Their first win in World Cup qualifying against the United States since 1980, and just their second victory in any competitive match in 40 years. And not only is Canada on a 10-match unbeaten streak, they have not trailed in the last 422 minutes.
From Canada on the pitch to the Canadians on the ice, a team that is missing Carey Price in net. The Habs netminder was at the Bell Center ahead of Sunday's game against the Blue Jackets, addressing the media for the first time since training camp. The 34-year-old is recovering from knee surgery and hasn't played this season after entering the Players' Assistance Program for substance use, something he talked about publicly for the first time on Sunday.
I was in a position where I definitely needed to reach out, and it was a trying time for sure. But at the end of the day, it was one that I knew that had to be made, and ultimately, it was one that was successful. And I'm very thankful for the help that I got. It's a big part of my identity, for one. You know, being a goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens has been my life for over a decade, and you know, obviously ending the season on such a disappointing note last year, I just want to be able to get back in there and just continue playing. And be able to put that sweater on again is something that, you know, is keeping me motivated at this point.
Well, the Habs could sure use Carey Price as they're looking to snap a 5-game losing skid against the Blue Jackets. First period with the Habs up 1-0. Patrick Laine will fire and pass Sam Montembeault. His first of 2 in the game, which ties it at 1. Meantime, the Canadians have made a goal change in 3 straight games, entering Sunday under 5 minutes later. Jack Roslovic risked one on net. Another one meeting Montembeault, as Carey Price can only watch from above. His Habs trailing 2-1, and midway through the fray, Montreal on the power play. Jeff Petrie turns it over. Eric Robinson breaks away shorthanded. Puts that home, making it a 3-1 hockey game. That is the end of the day for Montembeault. And the Habs with their league-leading 9th goalie change this season as Peyton Primo takes over in between the pipes. Just over 3 minutes later, it gets worse. Kale Clay hops it up. Yegor Chinakhov beats Primo as the Habs lose their 6th in a row, falling 6-3 to the Blue Jackets.
From one streak to another, the Avalanche, winners of 9 straight and 17 in a row at home, hosting the Sabres. Opening period, Mikko Rantanen picking out Gabriel Landeskog in front, and he taps it home. Colorado on the board first. 1-0, his 19th of the season, by the way. Second period, tied at 1, Jeff Skinner with a rebound chance, but he is robbed by Darcy Kemper. Look at that glove work. Takes away the goal. Midway through the second, Dylan Sikora shooting the loose puck, finding the stick of former Leaf Nazem Kadri. Caught the rebound for his 18th of the season and a 2-1 Avs advantage. And then less than 2 minutes later, Colorado on the power play, Cale Makar teeing up Rantanen, blasts home the one-timer. Colorado with 10 consecutive wins and now 18 straight at home, following the 4-1 victory. And that also makes 15 wins in the month of January, tying the NHL record for most victories in a calendar month, matching the 2014 Boston Bruins and the 2013 Pittsburgh Penguins.
Next up, Pittsburgh Penguins at home to the Kings. second period depends on the power play. Game off with a nice feed to Sidney Crosby. He scores his 498th career goal, tying it at 1. Later in the period, it's 2-1 for the Kings. Andre Kopitar gets it to Drew Doughty, who jams it in as LA adds to their lead up 3-1. Then in the third period, Crosby beating Brian Rust, who scores his second goal of the period. We have a tie game at 3, and with an assist on that play, Jake Gensel becoming the fastest player from the 2013 draft to reach 300 points. Under 7 to play, Trevor Moore gets sprung on the breakaway and scores his second goal of the game. That would be the game winner as the Kings take it 4-3. Looking ahead to Monday, Rogers Hometown Hockey is back. You can catch it 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, and that will be followed by a trio of games. On Sportsnet East and Sportsnet Ontario, it's the Devils and Leafs. The Senators host the Oilers on Sportsnet West, and you can see the Canucks and Blackhawks on Sportsnet Pacific, or stream it all on Sportsnet Now.
Also got some injury news regarding head coach Claude Julien, one that'll keep him out of the Olympics. The 61-year-old slipping on the ice during Team Canada's training camp in Switzerland and fracturing his ribs in the process. And the medical staff determined he will not be able to fly to China for the Winter Games, meaning former Blackhawks head coach Jeremy Colliton, who was let go by Chicago back in November, has been elevated to take over for Julien behind the Canadian bench. Speaking of Team Canada, on the verge of clinching a spot in the World Cup as far as footy is concerned, and Stephen Brunt joining us to put their run into perspective.
What we choose today defines what happens tomorrow. So if you want to watch the game tomorrow, choose Sportsnet Now today. Yesterday, I chose to stand up to my landlord. Today, she's chosen that I'll be living in my office from now on. But at least I still have Wi-Fi, so I still have my sports. I also have this hot plate, most of a stapler, and the clothes I'm currently wearing. You can't take that from me, Missy Sutherland!
Saturdays happen. Pain happens. Aleve it. Aleve provides fast pain relief that lasts up to 12 hours. When pain happens, Aleve it. Fast acting, long lasting.
Hockey is at a crossroad. Too few get the chance to feel its greatness. Too many are led to look the other way. But not anymore. This is the game we love, and we say it's time. This is for the kids who see the ground around them as an arena to play. This is for the thrill of the game, the do-or-die camaraderie. This is for every name, even the ones we don't know yet, to bask in the spotlight. This new chapter is written in the barn, your barn. A story of innovators, risk-takers, fearlessly leading this next generation. Doing battle, forging friendships, and winning hearts on and off the ice. New legends willing to do everything for the game.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
No ink. I need you to print. I need you. Please don't do this. I love you so much. I hate you. You think you're empty. I'm empty.
Do you suffer from cartridge conniptions? Be conniption free thanks to the cartridge-free Epson EcoTech printer. A ridiculous amount of ink. Up to 2 years of ink comes in the box. The EcoTech is the perfect cure for it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of that. I meant it! You're mocking me.
The Epson EcoTech. Just fill and chill.
Anybody have more cartridges?
Available at...
Summer is a perfect time to see the Yukon. The midnight sun just never sets. Well, maybe for like 10 minutes, but then it's back. So you can hike these huge mountains and camp overnight. And you can take this plane, a small plane, to see Canada's tallest mountain, Mount Logan. Plus, you can try a drink with a mummified human toe in it. Think of it as your Yukon initiation. Oh, and look out for ravens. They're sneaky, and they're everywhere.
The atmosphere at Hamilton, top notch. 12,000+ are carrying the flag, representing the emotion and the feel of the entire nation. Make no mistake, this Canada team has the dream of the World Cup and qualifying for it within their reach. He was quoting this profusely earlier. Larry with the layup. No Canadian man has scored than Kyle Larin.
Come on, man.
He stands as the best above the rest. And Canada lead 1-0. Kirby in behind. Ball holds up. He's going to take it himself. Sam Monagumi in a line. Canada has done it.
Come on! Come on! It's over! It's over! It's over!
Okay, so my takeaway is that everybody needs a hype man like Alphonso Davies in their life. A huge victory, 2-0 for the Canadians over the Statessiders, now 4 points clear of both the U.S. and Mexico atop the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying table. Now, Panama did beat Jamaica on Sunday, meaning Canada will not be able to clinch their World Cup berth on Wednesday. However, they're getting closer with every match. All right, let's talk more about Team Canada's 2-0 victory over the U.S. And with that, we are pleased to be joined by Stephen Brunt. Brunt, with this win over the Americans, has Team Canada proven itself to be the best that CONCACAF has to offer?
I think it's hard to argue with that right now, Eric. Look, it's close, right? That was a close, tough match against the Americans. And Mexico is still Mexico, even though Canada did beat them in Edmonton. But we are right there at the very top of CONCACAF. Not just that, I think, let's kind of think about Canada in the world, right? Mexico always qualifies for the World Cup. The United States has been in every World Cup but one since 1990. They finished as high as 8th in a World Cup. So it's not just the region. Canada's starting to make waves in the world of soccer, which is, the biggest world in sport.
Well, 5 consecutive wins as well, undefeated in 10 World Cup qualifying matches, and now on the verge of clinching the long-awaited World Cup appearance. Can you put what this run has meant into perspective?
Wow, it's tough, especially honestly, especially if you followed this team, the Canadian men's program, for a long time. I think we're all still kind of pinching ourselves, trying to believe what we are seeing here. This is extraordinary, and to be honest, when qualifying started before the pandemic, and then there was the interruption, and it restarted after the games were allowed. I don't think anybody, even the most ardent Canadian supporter, saw this coming. This kind of a run in qualifying, beating the powers in the region, and taking care of business in every match, getting a result in every match. That's because it's not just about the wins; it's about the draws you get on the road. It's about the tough ones you scrape out. So this has been, this is a poised side, even though it's really young by and large. They seem to be able to handle anything situationally. They're very, very confident, and I wish I could say I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming.
Well, you did talk about the fan base, though. How about that atmosphere at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton? We know that this rivalry always brings out the best from the crowd, but is it becoming obvious that supporters can taste the World Cup?
Oh, you can feel it. You can feel that World Cup, the World Cup mania starting in Canada. The sense that it's so close you can almost touch it right now. Connor's right there, and look, there has been a passionate soccer audience in this country for a long time, and there's been a loyal group who have followed this men's team, the Voyageurs, even through some of the worst times. But right now, I think that the difference is, you saw the scene in Edmonton when they played Mexico. We know what it was like when they beat the U.S. at BMO in 2019, and then here today at Tim Hortons Field, where 12,000 people felt like 15,000 people in the cold. There's something happening here. There's a wave building behind this team, and it's the hardcore supporters, but it's the people who are out singing in the streets of Hamilton who welcomed that team, welcomed the team bus today, who heckled the Americans into their bus after the match. We are on the verge of something that we have never seen in Canada. Yes, we've been to the World Cup before back in '86, but this is going to be something different.
Stephen Brunt, it'll even warm you up. Always appreciate the perspective. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Eric.
And with that, Team Canada continuing their quest to get back to the World Cup with a trip to El Salvador. Got the match.
Hey, that's a nice place to hit right there. 2 out base knock to put the runner on base. Let's see if someone can catch a gap in that. Into the box, Austin Riley. So take a look at ball 1. Him on the line here, and the ball deep in the gap to make this place explode. Off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it to the ball. You want to talk about being this guy's been great for you lately. It all starts with his pitch selection. 2 great takes. He's almost very good pitcher. Just go ahead and challenge him. 2-1 the count.
Equal outside the track at the wall. He's done it. I said we got this. Riley's first one with the playoffs. Wow. And then just walked in.
None bigger than that one as this ball game is over.
Wow.
Man, the postseason always seems to deliver big moments, and this was no exception. A walk-off in the final at-bat ends it, and there's bedlam at home plate. Wow! Tonight's final. The Atlanta Braves have evened up this league championship series at 2 games apiece. Roberto Osuna is credited with the win. So that's a wrap here tonight. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plezak, and Heidi Watney, this is Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, find us on Twitter @MLB The Show.